Nate Shook, if you see this, I'm gonna tell you, man. I know you've seen me lose and put me up against some tough dudes, but I've also been growing and staying in the gym, getting fit, getting a little bit bigger. I want to fight at 180, my last chance. So I'm gonna make you know that it was my last chance, and then hopefully it's not, and I end up getting some more.
What's up, fight fans? Chris here, Combat Loop MMA. I have a guy that wears multiple hats. And multiple hats, I mean businesses, promotions, fighting, being a father. Rayne Wells, the guy on the couch. What's going on, dude?
What's going on, bro?
I like that nickname, dude. I just found this out. The guy on the couch. That's not a bad nickname, dude. And you can come
Yeah.
off the couch and whoop some ass. So it makes it even better for, hey, this guy's named Guy off the couch, and then get your ass whooped by a guy off the couch.
Yeah.
How's life going for you? Doing all right?
It's going pretty good, man. Been working on this website a lot lately. Work for Fight Wax. Keeping myself busy, hoping that I get a call for another BKFC fight. But I'll do whatever in between, you know.
Hey, understandable, dude. Wearing all them hats, brother. You have so much to do. Well, we'll get started. I kind of like doing this in my interviews. It's like talking about how you got into the fight game originally. Like, we all have our origin stories, and it kind of builds a villain, it builds a hero. Where did you come from? Why did you start fighting?
All right. I'm from Mount Vernon, Washington, and I got in trouble as a kid, and I ended up doing some prison time. I had 30 years for robbery, and I served 12 of them.
Woo!
And I got yeah, yeah. So what do you say?
That's already inspirational where you're at though already. So I just
Yeah.
want to tell you, thank you very much for being where you're at. Not a lot of guys come out doing that.
So I got out of prison in 2015, and I thought I was pretty tough. I started going back down the wrong road, and then I said, you know what, something's got to give here. Uh, and I stepped into an MMA gym, Livewire MMA. It was at the time it was in Burlington, Washington. It's moved. It's in Cedar Woolley now, but um, I walked in there and said, I want to fight. And the coach, Matt Coble, said, if you show up every day that we're open for 30 days, at the end of those 30 days, we'll have a fight lined up for you. And I'm like, okay. He goes, but first, let's see where you're at. And he calls some 17-year-old kid over. And, you know, the kid ended up going pretty far in the sport, but he just beat the shit out of me. I mean, he just completely kicked and punched me from every direction, slammed me on my head, beat me 5 out of 5 rounds. And I sat out in the car and I looked in the rearview mirror and I thought, man, this whole time I've been acting like I'm tough, you know, and a 17-year-old kid, I was like 34 or something. He just slammed me on my face, made me look like I'd never been in a fight in my life. So after that, I just kept coming to the gym, kept coming to the gym. And then I went and fought at Combat Games, Koga, at a casino over there after the 30 days and won my first fight against the guy who probably beat my fucking ass these days, Patrick Turner. He
Yeah.
owns a gym over there in Eastern Washington. Just hosted his first event a little while ago, but he I beat him and I was addicted, man. I kept taking kickboxing smokers. I started doing kickboxing. I took a couple more MMA fights, had an upside down MMA record. I was like 2-4 or something as an amateur. And then, you know, I got a call for a pro fight and I was 39 or something. I've been training on and off different gyms across the United States. And I said, man, fuck it, I'll go.
Yeah, well, that's a wild thing to say for one, because you're a little bit older, and so you have that record. Now let's go. I like the story about the first fight that you took as a pro. We kind of talked about it. I want to know and tell the fans about your first fight as a pro.
All right. So I got the call from a promotion in Houston. And when they called me, I thought, you know what? I might not get another chance to go pro, because typically when you go pro, a gym will be like basically a sponsor for you. They'll say you're good to go. They'll usually arrange the fight, and then, you'll be working towards it. But that wasn't the case. I bounced around gyms, lots of jiu-jitsu, lots of different boxing and wrestling gyms across the US. So I didn't really have a home gym. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this. And I went down there. And it's kind of a funny story, because uh, when I got down to the weigh-ins, it was all black dudes. And one of them looked at me, and we're in a pretty hood part of Houston. And the guy looked at me and said, "Hey, are you lost?" I said, "Nah, I know where I'm at." And he was like, "All right." Well, my cousin's a music promoter down there. And he called me, and he used to work with something called Dope House Records, but he's moved on since. Uh, his name's Mo Hustle. And he called me and said, "Hey, do you want a rapper to walk out with you at your fight?" And, you heard this song, "Wanna Be a Baller."
Yeah.
One of the guys on that actually walked out. They call him Young Star. He walked out with me rapping when I go to the. It was a MMA fight in a ring, and I was weighing like 183 when I got the call. The fight was a catchweight fight on a week's notice at 190. The guy who I was fighting was out of Derek Lewis's gym in Houston, and he was 215 after the weigh-ins. That night he posted on Instagram, and I'm like, man, what the hell did I get myself into? But I had a game plan. I was going to stand with him the whole time. Everybody's in my head. Hey, the guy can't wrestle. Take him down. You'll be able to dominate him on the ground. So I'm striking with him okay. Everything's running smooth. I'm not getting murdered on the feet, despite the size difference in and out. And I go to shoot, and the dude clips me. Well, I don't go out or nothing, but I'm rocked. I think I'm grappling him. I'm grappling the referee who had stopped the fight. And the announcer's like, "You better be careful. That guy's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu." So it was pretty cool, man. It was a good experience. After that, I fought once more. I was like the main event in Kansas City for Synergy or the co-main. I can't remember. Short notice fight, got beat up. Good dude. Uh, and then I got the call for BKFC after that.
Hey, dude, you're a real OG for taking that fight, though. Like you go to the hood, you're gonna go take this fight. You're like, what am I gonna lose? You go to the
Yeah.
fight, the dude's way bigger than you. You got a balls, man, to be able to do that. So you get credit no matter what for doing it. It's a funny story, dude. Like you tell me that story, you're wrestling the referee, you go into a place, you don't know where you're at. You're just like, hey, dude, I'm gonna take this fight. So I mean, you got to have some balls to be a fighter in general. Now, tell me the difference, but not even the difference. Like, tell me the differential between switching from MMA to bare knuckle. How has it been? Has it been enjoyable for you? Do you like it?
Man, I love BKFC. I don't ever want to do anything else, but I will. I will box. Um, you know, I probably won't do MMA again. I did MMA about 4 months ago. Um, and I went to Massachusetts to do it. And it just solidified the fact that I really was never that good at MMA, not compared to these guys that do it their whole life, and
Yeah.
they're making a career of it from a young age, and they're in top physical condition, which I'm in pretty good shape myself, but I'm also an old man, so don't get your ass whooped by an old man and everything. Um, so yeah, no, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't think. Uh, but BKFC for me is, I wish I would have been more prepared going into it, because at the time that I started, I owned a restaurant that sometimes I had to work 16-hour days. I didn't have a gym for striking. I was I was training out of a jiu-jitsu gym that did zero striking, and then flew out to or I drove out that time to Clearwater, and did BKFC over there against a guy that had like 44 boxing fights. And my style was hands low, MMA, trying to land a big strike. And I went in there and stood in the center and got knocked out first time in my life, unconscious, flatline. Uh, and it opened my eyes a little bit to having a more upright boxing style for it, which I implemented pretty well in my last fight. I fought John Garbarino. I I again took a fight a little bit heavier than I would have liked to, and I'll say that that's that's what I've been working towards now, is perfecting a style for stand-up striking. The difference between the two is you got a lifeline with MMA. If you're getting fucked up on the feet, you can go to the ground. If it's not working out for you on the ground, you can try and separate and get back up. Hold on till the end of the round if that's a possibility. But with bare knuckle, it's like there's one dimension there, and that's face punch.
That's it.
You know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's no there's no life breaths, there's no life boats, there's none of that stuff's going to save you. It's all stand up. I've noticed that our MMA fighters, we're a little bit more gritty inside there, so you get to fight and we can take a little bit more of a punishment, I think. But as far as it goes, I think those boxers have a really, really, really good advantage as far as like advantage point goes. And I think MMA fighters can use a little bit more, because we can do Muay Thai. We can get the clinch on the back of the neck. So the dirty boxing, I think we do pretty well on that too. So you have two advantages as an MMA fighter. But the boxing, man, it's all distant, it's all striking. So you don't have anything. You better be able to strike, or you better be able to dirty box really, really well and make it dirty. Now, let's talk about fight wax, man, because I like the idea of fight wax. We were talking about it earlier. Yeah, man. I like it. Well, I come from being a wrestler, so ringworm's a big deal to us. We were talking about ringworm and it being really good for the ringworm and not being able to. I like the idea of it. Let's talk about it. Tell me about it. Let's tell the fans about it.
All right, for sure, for sure. So, Bite Wax is an all-natural alternative to Vaseline. Has similar properties to triple antibiotic as far as the healing aspect of things. It's it's green when you see it in appearance, so that lets you know that it's made of plants. But a lot of people that have, like, I gave it to some guys for their boxing matches, it's not one dimensional. It's a skin defense product. But for the alternative, the Vaseline side of it, I had guys that put it on for their boxing matches recently for pro boxing, and they said it didn't feel slimy or sticky like it does other products. And it didn't break them out in a rash like Vaseline sometimes does. So for that side of it, it's great. For the healing side of it, we've had people. There's doctors that have tested it that are pretty renowned. One of the doctors for Vicks has done the laboratory testing on it, and it is good for psoriasis. It contains something called photoessence, which is a plant byproduct. Just an excellent product. I was fortunate enough to meet these guys I was in a sauna cutting weight for a fight, and was talking to a guy. He put me in a WhatsApp call with these guys in Canada. They immediately shipped me some product and some merchandise. And then from there, I just showed them my worth, and now I'm the United States point of contact for sales for Fight Wax.
That's pretty badass, man. Time to help the sport and grow the sport. You're doing a really good job. Talk about promoting fighters, man. Not everybody promotes fighters. It's a different side of the aspect. Tell me about what you think about promoting fighters. Give me a couple fighters that you promote. I want to hear about it.
Okay. Promoting fighters is a shit job, and I don't think anybody wants to do it. Everybody wants a fight now. Everybody's got bills to pay. Everybody is complaining, bitching. It's a horrible job to have if it's your only job, which CNC Management, the company I work with, the promoter here, or the manager, the main manager, his name's Carlos Leon, and his wife Carrie. Good people. I mean, great
Awesome.
people. Personal friends. Got about 150 fighters. Keeping these fighters active is a struggle, especially when everybody wants to do BKFC. I personally have about 15 guys, maybe more. I lost track, but and I'm in contact with them every few days, every day. Some of them, some guys call me when I wake up, and when I go to sleep, they're telling me about how it's important that they get a fight soon. And I like to help, and that's the biggest part of it, is helping people pay their bills, helping people build their careers as fighters if that's what they want to do, helping people get through the process, which is a little bit more difficult than what people realize. And then I recently started sponsorfighters.com, and helping them get sponsors through that. You know, it's a new website, but we're getting to the point where we're starting to actually actively recruit sponsors for these fighters. And having sponsors is bigger than getting your check or your purse from the organization, because you get the money before you fight instead of waiting a week after for the check to clear. And that's when you need it the most, is when you're getting ready, so that you don't have to focus on some of the other things, you know, before the fight.
Yeah, dude, it's that sponsorship's huge. People don't really understand just the travel. We'll just say the travel in general, it's horrible. Then you got to worry about food, which you're cutting weight, but you also have to pay your coaches. You have to pay your striking coach. You have to pay your wrestling coach, which in bare knuckle you don't have to do. Granted, MMA is a bigger and worse beast when it comes to how many coaches you have to pay. Bare knuckle, you'll have your boxing. You'll maybe have one or two coaches you'll pay, but still travel and the expenses that take to go. And you have a family, you have to bring your family with you. There's a lot of different things that go involved into it. So yeah, when you're a full-time fighter, people don't understand it's not just about that. And when you get cut, the check that you get, half of it's gone. So you don't get that full check when you get it. All right, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of want to know what your plans are for the future. Are you looking to keep fighting? Are you looking to keep promoting? What are you looking to do? And then we'll get a little bit more into that. But what are you looking to do?
Man, I really want to fight. I feel like I'm going to talk to you about BKFC's new point system, which not a lot of people know about. Uh, BKFC, they started out letting a lot of people fight that probably shouldn't have been there. And I'll include myself in that. Uh, you know, there was a lot of guys that got fights in BKFC that probably shouldn't have been there, and some of them ended up going big. We'll talk about Brian Duran, for one. Love him. A lot of people are hating on that dude. He came from the streets. I respect that dude immensely, and he just started out as a regular old fighter, no background whatsoever, just got in there, and now look at him, right? So there's people that slid in through the back door that made something of it. And then there's guys that came in, got their ass whooped. They're like, I hate to throw him under the bus because the guy's half-ass decent, but Jack Grady's like 0 and 12. Okay. Get that fucking dude out of here. But sorry, Grady. But the thing about it is this: since they did that, now that they've blown up the way they have, and are continuing to grow and colonize the states one at a time, they have to weed out these guys, because they can't just put bums on TV getting beat up by dudes that have good records. It's just not something that anybody wants to see. Everybody's always criticizing it. So they implemented this rule system that takes into account inactivity. If you haven't fought for 3 years, you lose a point. It's not three either. It might be one. I don't know. Uh, and then they take into account your losses. So you lose a couple points if you got a couple losses. And then age is a factor. If you're over 40, you lose points. So I had a guy named Caleb Gall that was supposed to fight at BKFC Indiana, and his opponent, George Gonzalez, had too many losses, too much inactivity, and was too old. And right before the fight, we were already in Indiana, and they pulled the fight. They said, implemented the new rule. the guy didn't meet the criteria, he can't fight. And I think that they should have done that prospectively instead of retroactively and applied it to the fights that were already scheduled. But it is a good thing. I'm glad they're doing it. I am 1 point away from being in that group, so they weren't rushing me into a fight. They're kind of haphazardly saying no. They offered me one a little while ago, and I was like, but then now they're like, maybe go get a win somewhere else so you don't get put on the bench. So I would love a BKFC fight, but I feel like I would want a better matchup than I've gotten in the past.
You
So
want a little bit, yeah, I understand that, man. There are some animals inside there, and if you're getting thrown against an animal, I get it. You're a fighter, you can win, but you also want to get a favorable matchup. And I've seen a little bit of it. I see it. I see the fighters just getting better and better and better inside the BKFC, and that's going to be the real issue is home-growing talent, and that's what I want to see happen. I want to see them home-grow young talent. I want to see the 20-year-olds, the phenoms coming out, and I want to see them grab some of those young ones, bring them into the sport, because we do got a lot of older guys, just like the UFC when it first started. But I see it transforming into something more. We need video games, we need TV shows and things like that. Well, I want to give you a little second. This is my favorite part for you, dude. Give it back to the fans, give it back to the sponsors, give it back to the coaches, give it back to anybody that's helped you get to where you're at today.
all right, for sure. Definitely CNC Management wouldn't be here without them. Good management company. I personally would do the work for you if you wanna. If you got 5 or more amateur fights and you want to get in, hey, we're there. If you got a pro fight, even better. If you got a terrible losing record, maybe, but probably not. You'll be on the shelf for a while. Give me a shout out, you know. So, sponsorfighters.com. Sponsorfighters.com. If you're a fighter and you don't get on here, you're missing an opportunity. We have 200,000 clicks in under 30 days. We got 150 active subscribers to the page. We have a stream from all of the combat sports events that are happening. We have lists of potential fights through our Facebook page that are posted on the website itself. And there's a number of other things that we have on there. But if you're a fighter, you build a profile, bam, confirm your email, post your links, post your pictures. If you are a business, there is no reason you don't build a business profile on this page. It's free advertising, a lot of clicks. Okay, I'll get off of my website for a second and I'll shout out Fight Wax. Obviously, I work for them, but I supported them before I worked for them, and I don't draw a paycheck, so I'm supporting them because I believe in the product.
That's awesome, man. I definitely enjoy that. That's something I always enjoy. Now, the fans' favorite part, not always my favorite part, because I'm probably going to get beat up a little bit, but I'm talking contender versus pretender. Me and you get in, have a little spar, get to see who the real contender is, which I know who it is already. It's you. But get to show the fans the speed and the power and what you got. What do you think, dude?
Absolutely. I would love to have you down at the gym. And even if I don't look great against you, I got a guy who will.
Yeah, I bet you. There's always someone going to whoop my ass. So it's never a question of who, it's when. It's
You beat
someone's going to get
you
me.
beat me up, you got to go to the next level, just like a
Yeah,
video game.
I'm not good on that. I'm gonna have to just roll around on the ground and act like I can't fight. Now listen, dude, this is gonna be for BKFC because we know we're gonna get you a fight. I want you to give me a promo for someone to come get you out there and give you a fight. I want you to tell them why they should do it.
All right. Well, I'll tell you personally, I have everybody's number and email address, and I see them at events, and I don't ever walk up and say, man, get me a fight, get me a fight. Nate Shook, if you see this, I'm going to tell you, man, I know you've seen me lose and put me up against some tough dudes, but I've also been growing and staying in the gym, getting fit, getting a little bit bigger. I want to fight at 180. I know that it's probably my last chance. So I'm going to make you know that it was my last chance. And then hopefully it's not. And I end up getting some more. But yeah, I ain't blown you motherfuckers up yet, but I will. I'll start calling you and I'll start giving other people your phone number. I'm just joking. I wouldn't do that shit.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, we look forward to it. I know you're going to get a fight. And you know what? No matter what, You keep fighting, you're going to keep getting more and more. You'll be a champion, dude. Half of it is just in your mental. It's a mental battle, half of it, and the other half is physical. You know that. And it's getting to there and checking your boxes and getting past there. It's a pleasure meeting you with you. And I look forward to keep doing this with you. I want to keep talking with you. You got some pretty cool stories. You got been around the fight game a long time, so it's fun to talk to you.
All right. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. Have a good one.